I thought I had already lost. My wife wanted a divorce. She wanted the house. She wanted full custody. She wanted everyone to believe I was the bad father. I stood in that courtroom prepared to lose everything. Then, my 10-year-old daughter slowly raised her hand. She looked at the judge and quietly asked, "Your Honor, may I show you something my dad doesn't even know exists?" The courtroom became silent. The judge nodded. A video started playing. Within seconds, my wife's face turned pale. The lawyers stopped writing. Even the judge couldn't believe what they were seeing. What happened next changed every single person's life forever. After 15 years of marriage, everything collapsed faster than I could understand. Arguments became normal. Silence replaced conversations. One morning, divorce papers appeared on my kitchen table. My wife accused me of neglecting the family, caring more about work than my daughter, and being emotionally absent. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Every overtime shift I worked had one purpose: to give my family a better life. Still, her lawyer painted me as the villain. Friends stopped calling. Neighbors whispered. Even some relatives believed I had failed my family. The only person who never looked at me differently was my 10-year-old daughter, Emma. She never took sides. She simply hugged me every time I dropped her off after weekend visits. On the day of the final custody hearing, I walked into court expecting the worst. The judge listened patiently as my wife described years of disappointment. Her attorney presented photos, messages, and carefully selected moments that made me appear cold and distant. I barely recognized the man they described. Then something unexpected happened. Emma quietly stood up. She looked at the judge with trembling hands. "Your Honor, may I show everyone something?" The courtroom froze. The judge smiled gently. "What would you like to show us?" Emma pulled out an old tablet. "My dad doesn't even know I recorded these." The lights dimmed. The video began. It wasn't one recording. It was hundreds. Short clips filmed over several years. There I was, working late at night while helping her with homework over video calls, cooking breakfast every morning before work, fixing her bicycle, sleeping in a hospital chair when she was sick, selling my favorite motorcycle so she could attend a better school. One video changed everything. It showed my wife telling Emma, "Don't tell your father I canceled dinner. I want him to think he forgot." The courtroom became completely silent. My wife lowered her head. Her attorney stopped speaking. The judge watched every second without interruption. When the final clip ended, Emma quietly said, "My dad isn't perfect, but he's never stopped loving me. Please don't let lies decide my future." There wasn't a dry eye in the courtroom. The judge took a long pause before speaking. He praised Emma's honesty and reminded both parents that children should never be placed in the middle of adult conflicts. The custody decision changed dramatically. More importantly, the truth finally came out. Months later, my ex-wife apologized, not because she lost the case, but because she realized she had almost taken away the one thing our daughter needed most: a loving father. Children may be small, but they often see the truth adults try to hide. Lies can win an argument. They can even convince a courtroom for a while. But truth, when it finally speaks, needs no defense. If this story teaches us anything, it's this: never underestimate the quiet courage of a child, or the power of honesty.